Hello everyone, welcome to the first live session in the subject of hospitality and tourism technology and innovation. This is Dr. Dan Wang from School of Hotel and Tourism Management, the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. Currently it's 11 a.m. in Hong Kong, and I'm currently sitting in the live studio in the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. So hopefully you enjoyed all the lectures and the reading materials in the first 3 weeks. Actually, we have covered lots of topics, including IT facilitated experience design, technology application and adoption in tourism organizations. And in the third week, we have already delivered lectures regarding value creation through IT adoption and application. Actually, in the past 3 weeks, all the materials and all the lectures are themed on IT and innovation. Thinking about that, if you can recall, in the first week, we talked about how we use the current information technology to create different tourist experience, how we understand each individual customers based on the pool of the big data behind the scene. Then we get more feedback, come back to apply the ideas at the individual tourist level. In the second week, we change our focus to the organizations. Then we frame IT adoption as a strategy of innovation in current tourism and hospitality organizations, because we all understand the power of IT is not only limited in its functions, but also can be leveraged to other levels within the organizations. And in the third week, we focused on how we can do the value creation through changing the business process within particularly hospitality organizations. Remember, we have already illustrated the value creation process based on IT applications through the study on the Hotel Icon. The directors from Hotel Icon have illustrated that how they use information technology to change their marketing strategy, to change their customer service strategy, to provide more personalized, customized service to their customers. So today in our live session, we're going to still focus on IT and innovation, but we're going to actually provide a topic about IT-based innovation in the area of business model in hospitality and tourism industry. Then it is our honor actually to have Dr. Peng Ruihui, Senior Algorithm Engineer of Platform Technology in Fliggy Alibaba Group with us. Dr. Hui later will deliver a lecture on business model innovations in travel industry, the power from IT and design. Let me give just a very brief introduction about the background of Dr. Hui. Dr. Hui is from Fliggy Online Travel Platform, which is currently a wholly owned subsidiary of Alibaba Incorporation. Dr. Hui received his PhD degree in the area of applied mathematics from the Delaware State University in the United States in 2015. Then after that, he joined the Alibaba Group so to continue his research focus on data mining, big data, and machine learning and neural networks. So currently, Dr. Hui is taking charge of the search ranking, personalized recommendation, and user credit and platform risk control in Fliggy. Without further ado, I would like to pass the floor to Dr. Hui. So, Dr. Hui, please.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's my great honor to have the chance in discussing new technology applications in travel industry with SHTM students. Today I would like to share some of my experience and thinking in the area of online tourism. The topic is about business model innovations in travel industry, the power from IT and design. Now we are going to discuss this topic in detail from the following 4 parts. The first part is about new technology reviews. The second part is about user perspective in nowadays travel industry. The third part is about C2B model innovation, which is the customer to business model. The fourth part, I will give an application used in Fliggy. And at last, Dr. Wang and I would like to do a short Q&A session. So let's start from the first section, new technology review. We are going to focus on the major 2 technologies used in online travel industry, which are the big data and artificial intelligence. Next slide, for the big data, we look at what the big data is. The big data concept is firstly introduced by Dr. John Mackay in 1990s. Big data represents the information asides characterized by such a high volume, velocity, and variety to require specific technology and analytical methods for its transformation into value. In this definition, we summarize it to the 4V framework, shown in the right-hand side. It includes volume, velocity, variety, and value. For volume, it points out the size of data. In our daily life, 99% of data are unstructured, and a very little size is structured. And only structured data can deal with in data mining, machine learning, and other aspects. In Alibaba, one day's user tracking log data is about 100 terabytes in storage, and the total size is in PB level. For velocity, the state-of-the-art technologies do not only deal with offline data, but also focuses on real-time data. The offline data means systems collect the data, calculate the data, and analyze the data once a day or once an hour. But the real-time data means the data can be reflected into the system in seconds. For example, we put users' previous steps behavior or online information into search rankings, and it can be reflected into the ranking results in seconds. For variety, it represents the different sources and different subjects in data. For example, some of the data are collected from the Taobao transaction system, but some are from the financial systems like Alipay, and most of the data are about users. But we also have a huge number of data about business and sellers. For value, it is easy to understand, but we have to pay attention that the big data have small value per piece, but great values in total. So we need the data mining, knowledge graph, and other techniques to discover the potential values of data. Okay, so we are clear to the definition of big data, but how to deal with big data and how to transform big data from unstructured form into structured ones? The answer is to construct a data warehouse. Usually, a data warehouse contains 4 layers. The very bottom layer is called operational data store. It handles the data in ETL procedures, which means the extract, transform, and loading procedures. Then the raw data is stored in the data warehouse detail layer. It contains all the detail. And in data warehouse summary layer, the data is calculated in statistics. We can get some features, index, and indicators in this layer. At last, we go to the application data service layer. This layer faces the real-world applications, and it needs mining results from the algorithms, models, and the data mining approaches. Due to the data warehouse, we can manage the big data and find out the potential value of big data. In the next slide, we will talk about the new technology of artificial intelligence. As of AlphaGo computation, the artificial intelligence becomes more and more attractive. But what is AI, and how does the AI can do in travel industry? First of all, we focus on the category of artificial intelligence. The artificial intelligence is a very wide range, but generally it can be split into two parts. One is for supervised learning, the other is for unsupervised learning. And the supervised or unsupervised type depends on the training data. If the data is labeled as positive or negative samples, and the algorithm is trained and supervised by the different type of data, then we call it as supervised learning algorithm. Otherwise, it is unsupervised algorithm. After that, we introduce a widely used concept, the machine learning. Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence, and it has two types of algorithm, which are the classification one and the regression one. Moreover, we have the deep learning. It uses a cascade of multiple layers of nonlinear processing units for feature extraction and transformation. Each successive layer uses the output from the previous layer as input. It has two major concepts, the layer and artificial neurons. The most famous architecture of deep learning is deep neural networks. For the application of artificial intelligence, it can be widely used in search ranking, item recommendation, user credit and risk control, merchant operation and management, dynamic pricing models, and so on. Now, after reviewing the new technologies, we move on to the next section, user perspective in travel industry. We summarize it into two aspects. One is for consumption upgrading, the other one is for one-stop travel service. First of all, with the development of Chinese economy, more and more people joined the group of consumption upgrading, and tourism is one of the most important domains in consumption upgrading. Under this background, consumers need personalized customization, and they would like to reduce the risk of uncertainty during the trip, and they request high standard service before and after the trip. Secondly, because it is complicated in planning a trip, arranging accommodations, solving problems in emergency, consumers need one-stop travel service. If the one-stop travel service can be achieved, it can help users reduce the difficulty of item selection, help customers to make decisions, and also can provide an all-day travel assistant during the journey. So based on these requirements, what should we do? And how should we change ourselves to adapt a new travel market? As an online travel platform, Fliggy thinks it a lot and finally get the answer, which is the C2B model innovation. But before we discuss the new C2B model, let us look at the common used B2C model first. In online travel, there are three subjects involved. They are the offline merchant, the online travel agent or online travel platform, and the customers. In merchant part, it controls the supply chain, and the major procedures are item design and producing. Then the seller releases the item into the OTA or platforms, and the online agent or platforms do item operation and distribute the proper item to proper users. After making transactions, customers get the service and feedback their good experience or bad issues. So this is the standard business to customer model. But what is the C2B model? In C2B model, the procedures change a lot. First of all, we introduce the user demand into the system. From user's feedback or user study, we describe user demand in a data form. It may be a label, or feature, or index. Then we do demand clustering to get the main aspects. From the other direction, we analyze merchant supply. With the user demand and the merchant supply, we merge them together and get the integrated model. This model outputs the commodity elements or service elements. It can be a flight ticket, or a visa service, or a tour guide service, or a transportation in local, and so on. After that, the travel platform starts to produce the item package, because we have already well known users' demand and their habits. The platform can do an intelligent distribution very easily and quickly. After making the transaction, users get the travel service, and according to their personal experience, they do feedback. Again, this feedback will generate a new round of production. That's it. Now here we have to pay attention to three parts. They are how to analyze and confirm user demand, how to get integrated model, and how to combine commodity or service element to get an item package. To have this ability, let's look at system technical architecture. In the system architecture, we can find three layers. From the bottom to the top, they are data warehouse, algorithm implementation, and the AI engine. As we have discussed, the data warehouse contains the offline data and the real-time data. These data together describe user property, user behavior, user habits, item property, location-based service, and so on. With this data, we do algorithm implementation. There are many algorithms used in our system, like logistic regression, GBDT, XGBoosting, CF, Swing, and others. For the top layer, we call it as AI engine. It provides three main abilities, which are travel scenario tracking, travel intention recognition, and intelligent decision making. According to these three abilities, we can achieve the previous C2B model. Now finally, we discuss the applications in travel industry. Here, I would like to share a brief application used in Fliggy. This example is about item selections. In Fliggy, we have hundreds of thousands of travel content, but how to well apply this content to help customers plan their trip and make item decisions? This is a big problem. Finally, we find out that using data and artificial intelligence algorithm can help us a lot. For different people in different situations, data and AI can help us distinguish and understand them very well. Furthermore, we combine the supply chain to do personalized recommendation and packing different types of items together and push the most reasonable and suitable package out to the customers. Because of this work, the customer can save lots of time and efforts in item selections. It satisfies customers' requirements, which are consumption upgrading and one-stop travel service. That's it. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you very much, Dr. Hui.
Thank you.
Lots of information, although within like 20 minutes, like we have lots of information to digest, and
Okay.
but I think you illustrated the very complicated concepts very well, with your graphs and also the examples of the business you are focusing on in the Fliggy. So, all right. So now probably I will initiate the conversation with you. I have already come up several questions. Then after our conversation, then we can get some questions from the audience.
Okay.
All right. So the first question is about your title.
Okay.
You know what? When the time we start say like we're going to invite you, and then we put your name and your title on our flyers, so we distributed through the social media. Then some questions already come. What is the algorithm engineer? What are the kind of jobs they're doing? Can you explain more?
Oh, okay.
Like I guess in the tourism and hospitality industry, so probably we don't know much about how the data scientists do the job and
Okay.
what are the major responsibilities in a tourism industry. So probably if you can offer more insights.
Okay, I see. Yeah, well, the algorithm engineer belong to the data science and area, and actually in data science there are lots of jobs or parts related with the big data and the artificial intelligence. So to talk about the algorithm engineer, we have to introduce some of other jobs that we need to cooperate together to get some industry results. Yeah. So first of all, I would like to introduce the data development engineer. Now, which focuses on the big data. They are responsible to for extract the big data, transform the big data from different sources to the system, and they are responsible also for loading the data.
Okay.
And also, just now we introduced how to construct the data warehouse. Now, the data engineer also focuses on how to construct a perfect data warehouse to support the applications. Yeah.
So basically, that is for data storage, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's another job which is called the data analyst. Yeah. They based on the data warehouse, and they use the data. They do analyze. They promote the problems occurred in the travel industry.
Okay.
And they do some analysis and find out the strategies to solve the problem or some innovations in the whole industry. And based on the previous work, then we have the algorithm engineer.
Oh, okay. You
Yeah.
are the after the data analyst.
Right.
Okay.
So actually, we are going to use the data warehouse ability to get the data and do some applications, and we are going to use the strategies and innovations from the data analyst, and when we face a specific problem, we are going to use some mathematical methods to construct a model, like
Okay.
algorithm models, to solve the problem, and to completely do some innovations in the area. For example, we can do some search rankings based on the artificial intelligence. We can do the personalized recommendation, and also
Okay.
some credit and risk control some works. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, you are the one who built the model and to do the forecasting.
Right.
Can I say
right,
that way?
Right.
Okay. So would you like to give us one more example from your daily work? For example,
Okay.
a small project you are working on, etc.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would like to share one of the examples. We do the personalized recommendation, which is common used in the online travel platforms. Yeah. For example, if there's a customer, we notice that he or she always booked hotel A in Beijing, and we also by using the data we find out that he is currently try to find the hotel in Hong Kong.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are going to use the hotel A to compare all of the hotels in Hong Kong to find out which one is proper for the customer.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, maybe we can find another hotel which is Hotel B, and A and B has the same target customer group, which means that the two groups are overlap heavily, and maybe Hotel A and B have the same price range. They have the same stars. They have the similar services. They provide the breakfast, right? And maybe they all have the swimming pool or gym equipment, something like that. And then we do the recommendation of Hotel B to the customer. And for all the procedures, we call it as the item-to-item recommendation. Yeah.
Also, basically, what I understand is, okay, in order to find out which hotel should be the hotel B, then you need to do a lot of calculation, lots of like model building to predict that or to identify in the pool of all the Hong Kong hotels which hotel has the highest similarity with the Hotel A in Beijing, right? And also for the customers, I guess you mentioned it's not talking about each individual specific, for example, the Dan Wang as a customer, but you're talking about a prototype of the customer, right? So it's like someone who are also female, similar age, similar preference, so they recommend Hotel B to this customer.
Yeah, and actually, just as you mentioned, we call it as the user-to-user recommendation. So basically, we can combine the item-to-item or user-to-user recommendations together to get the better results. Yeah, that is common used in my work, and it involves lots of data work and the AI algorithms. Yeah.
Great. Okay, so back to your slides, right? You talked about the C2B business model, like in one of your slides. So then we found that there are three players basically in that model. One side is customers, another side is the merchant, or we can see the product suppliers like hotels, like attractions, museums, right? Each one of them. Then in the middle, you have the online travel agent, or you call that platform. Basically, is current the role that Fliggy is playing, right? So Fliggy is this this middleman.
In the middle. Yeah.
Okay, so this for me looks like very similar with the traditional, online travel agency model. So also we know that on the two sides, in the middle is the online travel agency, and on one side the customer, and another side is suppliers. So would you like to elaborate more? What's the difference between a platform strategy and traditional online travel agency business model?
Okay, I see. Yeah. As we mentioned, that the Fliggy is one of the most powerful online travel platform in China, and actually it is really different from the traditional online travel agencies model. Just now we talk about the C2B model. It involves three parts. One is for the business, another one is for customer. Then in the middle we have the platform in the middle, and so it means that the platform can connect either the business and the customer.
Okay.
Yeah. So and also we have the data. We have data from the business and the data from the customer. So the data is we always think that the data is the only element of factors that can flow from every procedures. From every procedures, and we can use the data to do something. Yeah. For example, we can use the data to distinguish the customers. We can just analyze their demand. We can just analyze the supply chain, and we combine them together to give the advice to the business, to the sellers, to help them design the item or service, and help them to do the production. So it means that in the production or design procedures, it involves lots of the customers' demand. Yeah, so that is the difference.
I see.
Yeah, and also if since we know the customers very well, then we can just do the very quick and efficient distribution. We can just make the transaction very sufficient, and we can also in the service step we can also get the feedback of the data of the feedback from the users, and then put this back to the system, and we get the feedback. We get the feedback to the business to help them upgrade their service or items. Yeah. So
got it. So so if I reframe it a little bit, so a traditional, like for example, we have the website. Then there are two sides, right? Then we offer for example, online marketplace to let the customer meet the suppliers. But that's all, right? So we just offer marketplace there. And however, for example, in the role that Fliggy is currently playing, is that we provide a so-called smart marketplace. That is, we are not only offer a place for you to meet each other, for the supplier side meet the demander side, but also we provide recommendations to for better matching, right? So the customers, you facilitate them to find the products which match their preference, match their needs. And for the suppliers, you offer recommendations about, for example, what types of products you should design or produce for customers, because we understand about you through the data mining, through the model building, then you can find out what are the real demands, what are the real needs from the customer perspective. I see. So this is the value for the platform strategy.
Right.
Yeah. And also this is the value, I guess, the algorithm, the data algorithm, data analyst
do something in the processes.
Yeah. It sounds very interesting. All right. So the last question, I guess, from me is about sounds like it's very complicated in order to adopt a C2B business model, right? Because sounds like first of all you need to have a data, like big data. Then you should have the capability to analyze the data, to digest the data, then to find out the business intelligence from the data. Then at the end, in the interface between the platform and the customers, you should have very efficient technical support in order to enable you to communicate with the customers, to communicate with the suppliers. So in Alibaba should be no problem, I believe, it's a big company and you have lots of resources. But how do you think the small business, for example, let's say a hotel property, for example, offline travel agency, how it is possible for them to adopt a C2B model?
I see. Yeah, that is a really good question. To answer the question, I would like to share one of the examples I'm facing. Now, currently, I'm doing a project which is called the hotel operation, based on the big data and AI techniques. So my team and I are looking for the useful data and the useful tech algorithms to make some abilities and for the hotel to operate their hotel very better and to provide more personalized services. For example, we use the data and the AI algorithms to help the hotel notice what kind of customer group you have and what kind of the item or service are popular in your customer group, and what's your brand targeting people in the market, and what is your what should be your strategy in the summer, and what's your strategy in the winter, something like that, and that may help the hotel to operate by themselves very efficient and very effective. Yeah, so that is the idea comes from the Fliggy Insight. We want to use our data to help all of the business to operate their traditional business very well. Yeah, so that is a really good example that I think that the kinds of new technologies will help the traditional travel agencies. Yeah.
As well. Okay, so to help them to find out more information,
Right.
which extracted from the big
Right.
data, big data
Yeah,
mining.
and also currently we are going to construct the new PMS system
Oh.
for the hotel,
Okay.
and from that system they can just do some very smart and intelligent operations in that, and we think that with the platform and also the hotel itself, we can just serve our customers better. Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, so let's see if we received any questions from the learners. Okay, let's read the first question. So there is a question from our online learner. How do you see having O2O, I guess is online to offline or offline to online, closed loop? We'll get the word. Yeah, actually, this question I'm not sure whether it's clear. But I guess there are, because there are lots of discussions actually about now if you're talking about business model, people always talking about offline to online or online to offline, and you want it as a closed loop. So so for example, as a hotel, right, you want to acquire customers online because now everybody do travel planning online.
Right.
But at the end, you want to track them to your website to make sure they make the reservation, they made the transactions on your website, right? And then you're trying to lock them, then come to your hotel to do the consumption.
Correct.
So, and also, for example, sometimes for the consumptions in the destination, right? So you want people get to know about you. For example, I'm a museum operator, right, in the destination. Then I want to send messages about my museum to people online, right? They get it from website, from apps, whatever. So, but at the end, I want them to physically visit my museum, right? So basically, you want this closed loop.
Closed loop.
Yeah. So is there anything, I guess, this kind of concept you applied in the Fliggy's business strategy or business model?
Right. Actually, Fliggy do some very good test in the online to offline, something like that, the new model. Actually, we think that the tourism is relies heavily on the service, and the service is provided offline. So actually, you can place the order. You can just select your item, your hotel online. But actually, you have to go to the hotel. You have to live there to get the service. So it is offline. And actually, Fliggy do something in online to offline.
Okay.
For example, we test it in Sanya. We get cooperation with a couple of hotels there, and we do some personalized services provided by the hotel. But we tell the hotel that you have to you have 2 days for a special group of customers. You have to do the others for another special group of the customers, and then we try to get the closed loop, which is called closed loop in online to offline. But it is just we just start up. Yeah, there are lots of ways to go. Yeah,
I heard of about the news about the kind of new experiment you are doing with the hotels in Sanya, because you've already did the press release. So there's lots of actually noise in the media. So let me explain a little bit here. So what happened for their experiment is that when you check in the hotel, then usually many customers they don't know about what kind of service or facilities available in a hotel, or they don't know what kind of extra service, for example, booking a boat, for example, help you to buy the local attraction tickets. This kind of service is available from the hotel side. So usually customers, they don't know. So we see the experiment by using Fliggy app, right? You have to access through the Fliggy app. Then after you check in that hotel, then all the services and the facilities will be listed through the Fliggy app. Then you can choose what kind of service you would like to use, you would like to pay for. So what's the differences between this new kind of business model and the previous ones is in that like now through the online platform, you've already, as a customer, you get to know what are the things available, and then before probably there are some information missing, then you don't know what are the services available, then of course you won't be able to use that service. So actually I heard from the news, so you compare the hotels who adopted this kind of service and who didn't adopt this service. Then the hotels who adopted this kind of service, they actually improved their revenue income, right? Yeah. So this is, I guess, the example of online to offline,
yes.
or the close the loop. Okay, let's read the next question. How to get the full volume data shared by Fliggy? Oh, I guess this is someone is interested in your data assets, all right? So you mentioned that, okay, with our data, we can provide business intelligence for the suppliers, and also we can provide the better recommendations for the customers. Then I guess our learners are interested in, is those data open for access, or is there any way like we can acquire the data from Alibaba?
Yeah, actually I think that this is a specific question for me, and maybe the audience want to get the data and do some model by him or herself, right? Yeah, but actually it is very difficult. Actually, it's a pity that we Alibaba we Fliggy and the Alibaba group has a very strict policy to deal with the privacy of the customers and the data from the customers.
Okay.
So actually, when we deal with the customers' data, actually we do not know which data exactly the person belongs to. And so we just focus on the whole data, and we just do some applications, and we do not focus on the specific person. So that is the very strict policies from our company. And maybe there are some activities that you can involve, like we call it as 天池 competitions. We will open some data for the competitors to use and do some models, and to try their new ideas and innovations. For the other way, maybe it's a little bit difficult.
So basically the answer is that no, sorry, the data is not open for access, but there's only way, probably, as Dr. Hui just mentioned, the 天池 competition held every year. Is that every year by Alibaba? Probably later we will provide more information, a link about that competition. Then if you are interested in to take a look at the data from Alibaba, probably you can organize the team and to join that competition. All right. So the next question, how do you see the online penetration of tourism industry is only 16.5%? Okay, I guess probably I will share some of my opinion, and probably you can share more from because you're a data expert. You know a big picture, I guess. So currently I guess although the penetration of I guess this is the data code about the global data. I'm not sure because it didn't specify in the question. and also, yeah, actually, if you take a look at some consultancy report or published by some company or the reports from UNWTO, we can see every year the online transactions for the travel product actually is increasing every year in the past 10 years. And up to now, this 16.5% which probably refers that there are only a small portion like people are making online transactions for travel product, but I guess like two points. Like one is that with the adoption of internet technology and the more choice of online payment methods, so I guess this percentage of online transactions for travel product will keep increasing in the future. And another part is that with the changing of people's living like lifestyle or consumption habit, as Dr. Hui just mentioned in the PowerPoint about the consumption upgrading, right? So with people knowing that we have the good platform offering better recommendations than the offline, for example, travel service, probably more people will move to online to search for and at the end to pay for the travel products. So how about the data? Is there any observations from the Fliggy?
Yeah, correct. Actually, this is a really good question, and from my point of view, that we use the Fliggy's data and also some other parts, the other parts of the data to do some analyze to find out that there's only about 17% to 18% for the online penetration of the tourism industry. Yeah, this is a little bit low than we think, and we think that currently more and more transactions are offline. But not online, so we have to push them from offline to online to get a conversion. And also with the development of the economy and the change of the person's lifestyles, just Dr. Wang mentioned that, and the habits, the individual habits changes. People are going to pay more in tourism, and pay more money and more time in the in travel. So we are do lots of work in this part, and we are going to we look forward to help users to get more personalized service and better experiences in their trips. Yeah.
Sure. All right, so there are one more question. Okay, this question also directly from our learners on the YouTube. Nowadays, is it still important to create a website because social media seems to replacing? All right, so probably I will handle this question. Yeah, if you are business, from a business or enterprise point of view, I think in my opinion website is still important because as what we focused on today is about data. Okay, first of all, no matter what, you are the owner of the website. Then you collect all the data from all the visitors who visited your website. Then you own all the, for example, those click stream data, and then you can design more functions in the website to capture your website visitors' behavior, to find out what are their preferences. of course, in terms of information displaying like a function, many social media websites can replace a website to help you to disseminate the information, to help you to do branding, to do marketing, to anyway convey the message to the online web users. But however, one of the drawback for that part is that you have no control for the data, or you only have part of control of that data. So I guess a strategy is that you have to use both in order to no matter you want to do the branding or marketing or do more about transactions, I mean, to run your own website is still a must, I guess, in the business strategy. All right, I guess the next question is, okay, this is more about the lifestyle, the generation things about the IT. A lot of like old people who are rich, but they don't like to use IT in their life, and especially during trips. They would like to choose the well-known hotels for them. For them, probably search for information is not a problem. How to keep a balance between IT and adapting customers for them? I guess this is talking about for example, hotel business, right? Hotel property or hotel chain group. How much we should invest on the IT, and considering that we have the customers from different kind of market, we have the younger generation and we have the older generation who don't like the using the website to make the reservation, and who still like the traditional way, probably use a call center, right? So yeah, how do you think, like Dr. Hui, like I know like Fliggy is actually your main market now. The main user group, they are all young people, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure like how many older generation know about Fliggy or have adopted the Fliggy for use.
Okay.
Yeah. So is there any observation?
Yeah, actually, last week we do a data report about our customers. We find out that much more are the young people in our platform, and there's still about 15%, something like that, for the old people. I mean not very old, but the old people, yeah. And we find out actually, yes, we how can we just reach them except our app, except our the website, something like that. So I think we can the previous question, which is about O2O, the online to offline closed loop, is a very good answer. That we have to use the O2O forms to reach the person, reach our customers from every aspects, and let them to experience our service. Yeah, that is the way we are going to try.
Yeah, actually, this is back to our lecture in the second week, right? In the second week, we talked about this series regarding technology adoption and innovation diffusion. So we can see that in no matter in any society, no matter for organizations or for the users, always there are early adopters, right? Who are very like IT driven, who are quick learners, right? They adopt it. Then when other people in the society knows about the benefits of this, like for example, technology tool, then they are going to adopt that. So then the innovations, it's going to be diffused to the, a more broad group of people in the society. So as just Dr. Hui mentioned, for the older group generation is a matter of adoption. I guess they just don't know at the moment what are the benefits those tools can brought to them, can bring to them. So if the organizations helping them to learn about the advantages of those tools to adopt those. Then probably they will have a higher intention to adopt. Yeah. All right. So the last question we're going to read is about artificial intelligence. Okay, adopting the artificial intelligence is definitely a trend within the tourism industry. Could you please share its main applications? Actually, recent years I read lots of news about the robot, right? Robotics,
Right.
yeah. So in some hotels in Singapore, in Japan, they are already using the robot to replace the front desk agent. Okay, and in many restaurants, actually, then you can see the robot is replacing waiters and waitresses to deliver your food, to take orders from you. And also, what else? In a hotel, yeah. And we also saw some news about, not the robot deliver your room service to a
Right.
room.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess robot is just one area of applications of artificial intelligence. And I think in Dr. Hui's presentation also mentioned all the actually the C2B business model is based on the artificial intelligence, right?
Yes. Yes.
So this is can be one kind of applications.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, we do lots of changes in the system. So it may not like the robot that the user find wow, this is AI applications, but we did do some works in the system to help the business to recognize the user's demand, to serve the user, the customers better, to provide their better services, something like that. Yeah, we do some work in the system levels. Yeah.
And another new concept is about the chatbot, right? Now many companies already adopted like the chatbot to do communication, to offer information to their customers, right? Will that be a future application from Fliggy?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Great. All right, so this is, I guess, approaching the end of today's live session. Today, I guess we covered lots of content. Hopefully, now you can explain from your own words, or you also can explain what is the C2B business model in the tourism and hospitality industry. And in the coming 3 weeks, we will provide more interesting content. So we also have a lecture regarding big data and the applications. We will have a lecture about the smart tourism destination, and we will also have lectures regarding how to do the social media marketing with the approach of storytelling. This is more related with design and basically information technology facilitated design. All right, so I guess so hopefully you learned something interesting from today's live session, and I will welcome more questions through the online the edX communication platform. So in case we didn't get a chance to answer your questions today, please send your questions online, and we will try to manage deliver our answers back as soon as we can. All right, thank you very much,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Hui.
Thank you.
Thank you.